Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Jeff Hiller in Conversation with Murray Hill. My name is Ron Wells. I'm Chief of Operations here at the Den Theater. We just want to thank you all for coming out tonight and supporting this event. It's great to have you all here. We'd also like to thank Chicago Humanities for their partnership with us and for sponsoring tonight's programming. So let's give them a big round of applause. All right, are you guys ready for the show? All right, coming all the way from Brooklyn, join me in welcoming Jeff's castmate from HBO's Somebody Somewhere, comedian, host, actor, writer, and producer, Mr. Showbiz, Murray Hill!
Wow. Whoa. God, if I had that much applause when I was growing up, I wouldn't have to wear men's suits for a living. Oh my God, you guys got that joke. It's a great crowd. Holy shit. I know it's a little early, but happy No King's Day. I think I know the audience that I'm playing for. Anyway, kids, I'm Murray Hill, and thanks for that wonderful introduction. I actually wrote it, and he added some stuff, so I appreciate the Chicago welcome. And it looks like we have a lot of women, a lot of homosexuals, and let me hear, where's the straight guys here tonight? Let's give them a round of applause for coming. I always like to point out, the straight guys because they don't get enough recognition. All right, well, you're a great crowd. I could do like 40 minutes off the cuff right now, but tonight is not about me. Jeff told me that he was coming to Chicago to release his book, I was like, I am coming. I didn't even ask, I'm not coming because I'm dead inside. Had some of those Chicago gummies last night, still fucked up, but happy to be here. But anyway, I told Jeff, I'm like, I will be there. I love Chicago, and we filmed the show in the suburbs of Chicago. So anyway, I showed up, and I'm very proud of him. And are you ready to bring out an actress of a certain age? All right. You ready up there, ladies and gentlemen, and the rest of you, which there seems to be quite a bit. And for that straight guy over there that didn't get that, don't raise your hand. Don't draw attention to yourself. See, they think I'm kidding. We'll explain to you what. What? No, tell him. I want to hear it. I love it.
I am the proud father of a trans son.
Okay, well, that will take it. That will take it. Where is it? Is he here? He's not here? Well, thanks for being an ally. No more talking from you, sir. All right, here we go. Please welcome Jeff Hiller.
As I was walking, I was like, I think I've lost weight because these pants feel like they're about to fall off of me.
I think the weight you lost, you gave it to me. Oh my God, Jeffrey, you and I could do like a tight 30. This crowd is amazing.
I'm surprised you didn't.
Really, bitch? This is what they call chemistry.
Honestly, sometimes with Murray, I can't turn it off, and I don't know how to.
All right, Jeffrey, I gotta fix this. It fell.
Oh,
All right, Jeffrey, it's an awkward moment of silence. It's always a good place to start.
okay.
Jeffrey has a book out, Actors of a Certain Age. Yeah. And when did it come out? Yesterday?
Tuesday.
Showbiz. And it came out Tuesday. So, kids, this is what, I'm sorry you have the side view. It's just showbiz.
Oh, Fran.
Uh-oh. Butch lesbians in the corner, not surprised. And Jeff's waving to the other straight guy here. All right. So, Jeffrey,
I don't think I was waving at a straight guy, but maybe. No, I wasn't. Yeah.
The guy with the beard? He put both hands up. That's a straight thing. I'm not doing nothing. Okay, all right, focus. Okay, yeah, we're here for Humanities.
Don't worry, I can see through the hands.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds filthy. Okay, kids. So, we have a little bit of time. So this is what's going to happen. We're going to read a little bit from the book, but not a lot because nobody wants to see two middle-aged people read. But we can read. So we're doing enough so that you know that. Okay? And then I'm going to ask him some questions that the publisher created, and then I'm going to do ones that I did, and you will definitely be able to tell the difference. Although I did cut is anyone from Simon & Schuster here?
Well, hide if you are.
They wanted me to ask how old your soul was or some shit like that.
They did, they did include a question that said, how old does your soul feel? And I was like, I don't know.
This wasn't a prepared bit. So we're gonna ask some questions, and then hopefully some of you put a question in the fishbowl, and we're gonna take questions from the audience. Ooh. All right.
I'm just seeing like the biggest statement earring right there. It's so good. I like accessories.
Yeah, that's an accessory, all right. The earrings are nice too. Okay, Jeff. Before
I actually don't get it.
No, like forget it. Okay, now Jeffrey, tell him what we're going to be reading from.
Well, this is from my book. Now, listen, I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, but thank you. That's so nice. If you don't, at Boom Boom Hiller. Anyway, if you, so my book has a typo on the cover. It's on the spine of the book. It says actress of a certain age. But as
Do they have it?
But as I was looking outside, the books here have been corrected. So
now
I guess if
everyone's
you're
checking.
from Simon & Schuster, you can stop hiding now. Yeah. But you know what? If you order it from Amazon, it will still have the typo. But you didn't. You ordered it from a good bookstore. No kings. Okay, so we're reading from a chapter called Every Day I'm Hustling by Vivica A. Fox. I name each chapter after a different celebrity memoir. And here's the deal. I just did an interview, and the guy goes, I didn't understand. I thought like Vivica A. Fox wrote that chapter about you. So either I have done a poor job of conveying what I'm doing, or that person was stupid.
I think this is a safe space to say that person was a fucking moron.
No, he wasn't stupid. I was like, oh shoot. Anyway, so this one is about this little section is about day jobs I've had. So we're gonna read it. Are you ready?
Yes.
Or did I sound butch?
No.
Okay. It would have been a shock to me too. All right. This is what I sound like on the audiobook. What's that? No, I'm kidding.
You actually do, though, so.
Okay. Once I moved to New York, I was always cooking up a scheme, trying to somehow make my dreams come true. After all, I had left social work to do this. If you're going to stop helping people in order to perform, you gotta commit. So I hustled. I took improv and acting classes. I put up sketch shows and did improv shows wherever and whenever I could, never stooping for less than my required rate of $0.00. More like 0 cents. It's spelled S-E-N-S-E. That joke won't make sense in the audiobook, but we have it, sweet reader of the page. I also spent a lot of time trying to find a job that allowed me to make enough money to live in New York City, but also gave me enough free time to continue to audition and do shows so that someone would notice me and give me money to act, to write, or to strip. I would use the money to pay for college, I swear. Here are some stories about day jobs that allowed me to pay my rent so I could afford to live in New York City and become a star, or at least an actor with health insurance.
Still waiting. I answered an ad. Oh, should I do it in your voice?
No.
We are friends. I answered an ad sent out by the UCB Theater to do crowd work in Union Square. I scored a telephone interview. Yeah, it's always quiet after I do that. Big sense. We are a pest control company, and we want an improviser to dress up as a cockroach and taunt passerby, saying you're having a raucous party in the walls of their house. Is this shit true?
Yeah, you think I would make this up? Yes.
I knew right away this was a firm no for me. I have enough class not to spend 6 hours humiliating myself in a ridiculous costume. It isn't as if pest control company would be hiring actors all that often, so there wasn't even any hope of future work for such debasement. Just as I was about to demur, is that how you say it?
No. Demure.
Sorry, I'm straight. Just as I was about to demur, the woman said, "We will pay you $500 and you will get a free lunch." "I'll need an extra large roach suit," I said.
There was a time when I taught CPR. I had done it during college because my mom's friend had a contract with the local school district, so I knew there was a business model that catered to people who needed to update their CPR certifications for professional reasons. Babysitters, dental hygienists, lifeguards, and more are required to be informed when the American Heart Association changes its rules about how to open someone's airway. I actually loved this job. It was flexible, and you kind of got to perform while you were teaching. The only reason I didn't do it more was that I didn't have seniority at the company and couldn't get enough classes to support myself. I thought about striking out on my own, but I would have had to have bought my own mannequin, and that was both a financial burden and a storage conundrum. Where does one store half a human inside a tiny New York City apartment? There were some interesting things about being a CPR instructor. For instance, while there was only one mannequin, each student received their own face and plastic lung for hygienic reasons. The face was just the nose and mouth that could be inserted into the gaping hole on the mannequin's head. Consequently, I would sometimes be carrying a large mannequin and a bag full of lungs and faces. The lungs just look like plastic bags, but the faces look like, well, there's no euphemism for it. They look like sex toys. Just a mouth and nose waiting to be defiled by a person shoving their junk in them. They didn't actually function that way, they just looked like they functioned that way. Once, when I was riding the subway to a job, about 9 faces rolled out onto the floor of the 7 train. And people looked at me like I was a sex fiend. The nice part was that while there was some judgment, some looks offered encouragement too. Another time, while I was teaching, I asked a woman in her 20s to narrate what she was doing while performing CPR, and she complied. Okay, I checked the airway, she tentatively began, crouching over the mannequin, who had been named Ernie by the group. I confirm he isn't breathing and there is no pulse, she continued. And then I gave it 2 large breaths. She breathed hard into the sex doll face attached to Ernie's head, filling the plastic lungs with air. And then I start compressions. Great job, I said. Now, how do you do that? She nodded and said, I place my hands over his scrotum and push down. The American Heart Association recommends placing your hands over the sternum. But who knows? Pushing down on a scrotum like it's a diving board might wake up Ernie too. Okay. A terrible blizzard blew in on a Thursday morning at a day job where I had been working for a few years. Ooh, it looks bad out there, I said, glancing through my boss's office window at the snow whipping around outside. Yes, it is, my boss said. I'm going to have you go out to pick up salads from the deli for the team. Okay, I'll get my coat. Thank you, she said. I'm sorry to make you do this, but no human should have to go out in weather like this.
Jeff Filler, everybody.
That's what happened. No human.
So that's just a little bit of what's in those pages in your books on your table. There's a lot more filth and heartbreak and lots of very inquisitive things to learn about Jeffrey. So great job with the reading and showbiz. And I do want you to know, because I'm assuming there's some Somebody Somewhere fans out here.
If you're not, why are you here?
And on that show, Jeff and I, we didn't get to dress as great as we'd like to. So I want you to know for tonight, we both tried to look like literary people. So thank you. All right, Jeff, you got a lot of fans out there, showbiz. Let's get into some questions. All right, you talked about that the book is organized by celebrity memoir chapters. Can you tell us how you figured that out?
Yeah, well, I'm a voracious reader of celebrity memoirs. I've read hundreds of them, and that's not an exaggeration. It's really, truly hundreds of them. And sometimes I read them, you know, sort of a hate read. Sometimes you're like, oh my God, this ridiculous human being. But the ones that I love the most are the ones where you're like, after you read them, you're like, I feel like I know, I feel like we would be friends if we met. And, you know, that feeling where you're like, we would be friends. But then, like, if you ever do meet them and you're like, we would be friends, and then they're always like, go away. Anyway, so I wanted to write it like that. But the main reason I wrote it that way is because one of the main reasons I read celebrity autobiographies so much is I wanted to read a story about someone succeeding, and if they had a book, in theory, they have. And I wanted to read that because I wanted to have success, and for so long I didn't. And when I turned 40, I had just a straight up midlife crisis where I was like, I was in credit card debt. I was teaching improv and temping on the side. I did some cater waitering. I was like, I was bummed that my life had not turned out the way I wanted it to turn out. And I really thought like, oh, this is it. I'll never do it, because you never hear about like the top 50 actors you've never heard of under 50. It's just not, BuzzFeed don't care, you know? And I realized that comparing yourself to someone else only invites despair. And so I just wanted to highlight, don't compare yourself to other people, because their story is different, and we all have lots more growth ahead of us, even if we've committed the cardinal sin of aging past 50. Which I haven't yet.
Same. I like how I was trying to start this with some softballs about celebrity memoirs, and now you're talking about despair, but thank you for getting right in there.
I'm deep.
No pun intended. Explain it to him. Now, what are your favorite memoirs, and what are the ones you just did a little side shade to?
Well, Brooke Shields has a great one. Rosie Perez, amazing. Some of the ones that are a little like, okay. Stephanie Powers. Y'all remember her? She was on Heart to Heart. Did y'all ever watch Heart to Heart? When HBO changed to Max, I think they're changing back, but remember when they changed to Max? I loved it because it made me think of Heart to Heart, because remember Max was their butler? And so whenever they would say Max, I'd always be like, when they met, it was Myra. That's a joke for a very specific age crowd. And let me just say, the fact that you're laughing, it feels so good. Anyway, Stephanie Powers talks a lot about like how much hairspray you should use on your hair. And like Vanna White has one where she's like, don't waste your time with a water pick. Just use the pressure from your shower head to water pick your teeth. You'll save several minutes every morning. Ding!
All right, what about the shady ones that you said you hate read?
Oh, that's what I'm talking about right now.
That sounded like a love letter.
Well, when I say hate read, it's more just like, oh my God, you ridiculous, lovely human. Like the fact that, you know, you think somebody would need that much time to water pick. Alan Cumming has a great one. Yeah. These are all good.
And I have to ask you a question.
Ione Skye, did y'all read that one? Dishy. You know what? Read Ione Skye and then read Kathleen Hanna. Because they both married Ad Rock.
This is an older crowd. They don't get that.
Oh. Thank you, Gen X. We know that Beastie Boys. We know Say Anything. We know Bikini Kill.
This is just listening to you. Are the celebrity memoirs you read just from women?
Primarily, yeah. I tried to listen to Burt Reynolds once. And it was like, he was already quite old, and he was like, he wasn't sitting close enough to the microphone. So it was like, Tallulah Bankhead, how are you? And I was like, speak up, sir.
I think you just workshopped your new show. You doing celebrity memoir voices. At the Den, next week, Gay Pride. All right, now let's get into show business, okay? Because I don't know if everybody knows you pre-Joel, and so you.
No one knows me pre-Joel. That's the point of this book. People are like, why'd you choose to write this book? I was like, somebody would let me. I had a book in me a long time ago. It's just this is.
Yeah, well, to keep it clean.
Wait,
Don't-
so let's just tease this joke out.
No.
You think that I took a book? You think I took a book? Okay.
Well, it could have been one of those little Penguin classics. Look, I am the only straight guy in here besides that guy, and I am trying to talk in the language that I can relate to Jeff. Did I get you? You got so excited about that book.
Yeah.
You can't fuck your own book. That's weird. All right, keep it clean.
Me?
All right. Anyway, so what you don't maybe know about him is Jeffrey went from ministry to social work to showbiz. So can you tell them a little bit pre-Joel for them the ministry, the social? How did you get here, bro?
Well, what's weird is the way I say weird. What's strange is that my life was very similar to Joel's, where I grew up in the church. The church was super meaningful to me. I really loved the church. I majored in theology. I was gonna be a pastor, and the problem was that you're never gonna believe this. I was a big ol' homo. And so the church said, you can be a pastor, but you need to be completely celibate and you can't date, but like a straight pastor, they can get married and have kids and stuff like that. And I thought that was kind of rude. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna do ordained ministry, I'm just gonna do, sort of non-ordained ministry, i.e. social work. And so I did 3 years working in Denver. I lived in a Jesus commune. You'll read the book, you'll get it. I know that's a weird thing to drop on you, but you'll read the book. And I was a social worker, and then in the same way that I couldn't control, when I was younger, I was like, I'll never come out, I'll just hide it. But then eventually I was just like, I gotta come out! And that was the same way with showbiz. I was like, I have to tell you something. I'm an actor. And, but it was hard because I left working with homeless and runaway youth to do improv. Are you still clapping? I know, but I'm saying I stopped that to go make fart jokes in the basement of a grocery store for free. But
Round
only
of
for
applause for
25
Jeff.
years. Only for 25 years. So it was hard. It was a little embarrassing to admit, but that's how I came to it.
And you did a lot of. How many years did you do improv in New York?
About, 25 years.
Shit.
Yeah.
All right. So how did improv prep you to go into acting and then to writing? Did it impact your process at all?
Yeah, totally. I got my start at this. I know that Chicago is a big improv town. You must all, yeah. You must have all been like, oh God, I gotta go to this kid's improv show. My best friend's son is taking a class. And so if you've been to that show, you know that improv is bad. Like 99.8% of the time, it's bad. But that 0.2% of the time, it is mind-blowing, and it's beautiful, and you're connected, and you feel like you're channeling a life force from some other place. but that's only 0.2% of the time. But to do improv, you have to be listening, you have to be present, you have to be paying attention. I always used to tell my students, you're not allowed to say you're not good with names. What you're saying is you don't listen. I'm not allowing you to say you're not good with names. Listen, hear the person's name. And I think that is something that we don't do a lot of in this world, and especially at this time in our life, or in this time in our world, there's a lot of people not listening and just flapping their gums. But it really helps. It really helps. Also, I'm a real good boy and I like to follow rules. You know this. And so I make a really good guest star. And so I was a guest star for about, I've done, you'll go watch some reruns from the early 2000s and be like, oh yeah, that waiter's Jeff Hiller. Oh, is it? Okay, ask that.
What'd you say?
Go ahead and ask.
No, that was a callback to not listening. I got you.
Yeah. I love a joke that you have to underline and point out you did.
I don't want to give away too many spoilers, but Jeff is a homosexual.
No, that's the big surprise.
And
I'm like Barry Diller. I'm just.
So now, as I say that, because you've played, you have been on TV before, but you've played a lot of LGBT roles that have been kind of pigeonholed. So can you talk a little bit about your career up until playing gay characters in a time when nobody even wanted that, playing one-dimensional, then ending up at Joel?
Yeah, well, yeah, I can talk about that.
Yes, and says from improv.
I did a lot of roles. Look, not every character on every television show can have an interior life. It would be exhausting if the waiter came up and then you had to go home with the waiter and see their relationship with their cat. I get it. You can't, you need roles that are just like, sorry, ma'am, you don't have a reservation. And I played those pretty well. I am very obviously gay, so I'll never play a straight role. And so in the early 2000s, when I was really trying to work, the gay roles that had any depth went to straight actors so that they could win an award. And if you were hot and gay, you could maybe hit on the lead character and make him uncomfortable, or the lead female character could hit on you and then she would feel uncomfortable. But if you were like me and you were obviously gay and also had a face that is for radio, then all you could do was play a bitchy customer service representative.
Can you do a line read?
Yeah, sure. Excuse me, we're gonna have to check that bag. So I played a lot of it was just a profession preceded by the word gay. Gay waiter, gay manager, gay florist. It would probably just be florist. And I played a flight attendant 4 times, just like Russell Crowe. And some of the roles I played were, maybe a little offensive, and probably wouldn't pass the smell test today with what we know now. And I did them, and I tried to play them at the top of my intelligence, and tried to find some sort of humanity or depth to them. And sometimes I just had to be like, yeah, bitch, and walk off. Because I wanted health insurance, you know?
All right, so talk about Joel a little bit, because Joel is not a customer service representative.
Well, he wasn't, no. Maybe when he was running the house. Yeah, so then Joel comes along, and I took this class from a casting director, and she said, if you're ever gonna wanna get cast on a TV show, which I did, you'll probably get cast in a role that's similar to you. And I was like, oh, crap. Like, they do not write roles like me. Like, I'm weird, you know? And it would take a complicated writing process that showed nuance and allowed someone to be both, you know, nice, but also a little raunchy, and also giggly, but also gay, but also, you know, big and weird looking. And then somebody somewhere comes along and they wrote a role that was a lot like me, and it was shocking and profound and bizarre, and I thought, oh my God, they wrote this role for me, and they were like, we did not.
Tell him how you got cast. The audition.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So I sent out a self-tape, and then Bridget called me in, and I met her in this like big weird room with Jay Duplass, you know, the indie filmmaker who was our director, and the writers Hannah and Paul, and we met and we auditioned, and it was great. And I was like, oh no, they didn't even turn on the camera. I don't think I got it. Why would they not turn on the camera? And so I left, and then I got a call the next day, and they were like, we forgot to turn on the camera. Can you please come to Bridget's apartment? We promise it's not weird. It was weird, but not nearly as weird as most of the things I've done, so it was fine.
That's your second book.
Yeah. I once auditioned for a web series. I don't think this is in the book. I auditioned for a web series, and it was in a guy's studio apartment. And he was just sitting on his bed. There was no other chair. And,
Jeffrey!
And there was like no waiting room, you know, it was this studio apartment. And so we all just had to wait in the hallway. And I was like, I hope I get it. And y'all, I didn't!
What was the role?
It was something stupid. It was like, you had to go to Ronkonkoma, and you had to be, part of it was, I remember you had to be in your underwear in the river, and I was like...
Jeff, this does not sound legit.
It was some Ass Master 3.
Oh, dear. Okay. All right, can you talk a little bit, and then I've got a couple more, we'll go to the Q&A. Can you talk a little bit about Joel's relationship to religion and yours personally, and what you brought from your own personal stuff to that role?
Sure. Well, Joel, what's interesting about Joel is the show never makes fun of him for being a Christian. And also, yeah, it's beautiful, right? And
it's okay to clap. It's okay. Safe space.
Oh, it's Pastor Christy, that's why. That's so funny. Poor thing. She's like, oh, they used my church. We did. We filmed that in season 3, that beautiful scene with Pastor Deb. It's filmed in her congregation.
She's here.
Yeah, so beautiful.
Sorry for swearing, Pastor.
But here's the thing is that your church and you are the kind of Christians that I grew up with. Progressives, people who lead with love, with compassion. When I was growing up, the church was where you went if you were having food insecurity, if you couldn't pay your rent, if you were scared that your life wasn't going well. The church wanted to help you, not punish you, not judge you, not tell you you're going to hell. And in the last, I don't know, I mean, I guess there's always been bad actors amongst the church, but for me, growing up, my church wasn't that way. And so I really, I was sort of shocked. When it wasn't until I was in my 20s when I was like, oh, some churches are bad. which is so ridiculous. But that's why Joel is so interesting, because the sort of cultural narrative is gay people in a church are oppressed. And so first of all, there's barely any discussion of religion or faith or church in mainstream culture whatsoever. Maybe you can talk about like cultural Judaism, but you would never like talk about going to temple. You know, it's just not what people talk about. And so I guess because like don't talk about politics or religion, and so that was the rule of thumb. But this show is not afraid to have some nuance and be like, this is a gay person in a church. And I went to this school called Texas Lutheran College, and I went to this church in Seguin, Texas, which is about 30,000 people, and it's in a rural farming community. And we found this group where it was primarily queer people, but also a few straight allies, you know, the fathers of trans sons and what have you. And we worshiped together, and we found each other, and we searched each other out. And it's not uncommon. A lot of times when we were doing press, people would be like, so what's this fantasy about a trans person being in America, in the middle of America? And trans people are everywhere. Queer people are everywhere, including your churches. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful to the show for showing that.
All right.
Sorry, did I get a little soapboxy?
No, we need it. We need
Okay.
it, especially before the holiday tomorrow.
They're
one we're
ruining the
having.
roads. Did you know it's ruining the roads? They've budgeted $16 million to fix the road after the tanks go over it. That's not in my book.
All right, so we gotta move on. So I was gonna, so we don't have. I'm not gonna talk about you being bullied as a kid, coming out, and all that stuff. You'll have to read it in the book. But lastly, bro.
Yeah.
We started off talking about celebrity memoirs, and that you wanted to read it to see how people survived and how they got to success. Now you have written a celebrity memoir about yourself, and you were successful. So
I do have a certain amount of success.
That's what we do. When I compliment him, he makes a joke, and when he says something, I make a joke. So when somebody's reading this book, whether in Middle America or a gay person that is a Christian, it does happen. What do you want them to get out of this? What's the message, Jeff?
To join Scientology. Let's all kill Leah Remini. Her book is good too. Read that one.
Not in front of the pasture.
I know. Sorry. You know what? What I want the book to say, it's actually very similar to what Somebody Somewhere said, and what Bridget always says about Somebody Somewhere, which is why the show meant so much to me and why it was so profound. I think to all of us is that it was this radical thing of not giving up on yourself, of saying, I deserve love, and hope, and joy, and that's what I want the book to say too.
Beautiful. All right. So you all filled out some questions, and the wonderful Tyler from the Den is going to bring them out. Tyler, where are you with the fishbowl?
Ooh, Tyler, you carry it so well.
I think Tyler needs some entrance music. Put some effort into it. Let's go. Let's hear it for Tyler. All right, Jeff, this is exciting.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, a lot of type.
A lot of type.
right. You can go ahead, make fun of me.
Murray's always like, oh, I don't have my real glasses. I was like, you mean like anywhere? Because no matter what glasses he's wearing, he's always like...
You know I'm doing this pro bono, right? Happy to be here. Okay.
Oh, shit, I gotta go. I better pull it in, Jeff.
Dear Mr. Hiller, you exude joy. Have you always, or has this come as a result of your growth and journey? Sincerely, Tammy DB.
Oh, Tammy. Is that you? Oh. I like that you wrote it in the form of a letter. Feels like we're on Jeopardy or something.
Yeah, you keep this for your, because
it's nice.
it's to you.
That's nice. Dear Mr. Hiller, that's nice that I exude joy. Thank you for saying that. I think I am sort of innately, I think I am more of an optimist than a pessimist. But yeah, I've also, Mama's been to therapy. I'm Mama.
I'm Dada.
See, you do listen.
What?
When we were in season 1, we went to Target, and this is back when you could still go to Target. And Murray was walking around, and he was like, "Bro, this cottage cheese is only $3." And then I got him a shirt that said "Best Dad Ever."
And then I went to this gym in I don't know if I told you, this gym, what's that called, Lifetime Gym or something? I wore that in there, probably a problem. And I'm not saying it was a straight woman, but she was. And she goes, "Oh, how many kids do you have?"
You should have said, "Thousands."
I don't know if there's any, well, there's a couple lesbians over there, but, I'm not a father, I'm a daddy.
I don't think it's just the lesbians that get that.
If you don't understand the difference, this book is not for you. Okay.
I guess it is kind of dirty. I didn't realize it.
Oh, yeah, that's your whole shtick. All right, this is a very...
Not sex dirty. Poop.
Jeff. You know what I always say, Jeff?
Yeah.
Stereotypes are based on facts. Okay, Jeff.
Yeah.
We've only done one question, and we were supposed to be done. No, that's mine. I got it. Next one. This is a hot topic.
Okay.
Is Brad good enough for Joel? Dan wrote that.
Hot tea.
Hot tea.
I think he is. I think that it's funny because a lot of people have been like, "You gave up too much for him," but that's kind of what life is, right? And especially once you're on the brink of 50, you realize like, oh, I thought my life would be one way, and it's not always that way, and I have to mourn the things that I thought I was gonna have, and find the good things in the things that I do have. I mean, he got him a piano. He got his piano back. He made him tea. He made him tea. He let me load the dishwasher.
Is that a euphemism?
Yeah.
All right, this is from Cass Teal. This is a very challenging question.
Okay.
What is your favorite way to relax after a long day? And bonus, what's your favorite dinosaur? Did I get it right? Okay.
Weird. My favorite way to relax after a long day? Hard drugs. No, I have a dog and a cat and a husband, and I like sitting on the couch with all four of us watching TV and snuggles. We need a bigger couch, but I like it.
Dinosaur?
Oh, controversial. I like the brontosaurus. It's like a cow dinosaur.
All right. What was it like preparing and playing for Gideon Whitley?
Oh, that's Whiteley.
James.
Yeah, that's American Horror Story. I was in American Horror Story. I played a serial killer who kills gay men to show that killing gay men is wrong. That's true. The thing about playing that serial killer is it was just nice to be someone like myself. I actually did prepare, though. I read this book about the killer that it was based on, and then, this is the dumbest thing, but I did a lot of work in the mirror where I looked at my face to see what was the creepiest way it would be, and what I really found was nothing. If I
Do it.
Sorry, I lied to you. But you already knew that, didn't you?
All right, two more, then we got to wrap it up because we got a second reading because you guys sold it out so quick.
Thank you.
How are Ivonne and Beverly love Pastor Christie?
Well, yes, that's my cat and my dog. Beverly is a little kitten. She's 9, so I guess she's a full cat. But her name is Beverly. The shelter named her that, and I was like, this is good branding. And then I named the dog Yvonne DiCarlo, after the woman who originated Carlotta in Follies, because, boy, I'm gay. Anyway, they're good. I'm already missing them. They're good. What?
Is Tim Bagley a great kisser? Big Benny.
Big Benny? It's like a British porn star.
I just got it too.
Yeah, he's a good kisser. This is so funny, but I say this in the book, so the jig is up, but I have like a big alopecia spot, so I have to wear fake hair. And in season 2, I was wearing like a full-on wig as Joel. And so the intimacy coordinator, who was this lovely young person, and they were like, really taking their job very seriously. And, the intimacy coordinator says, like, what are you comfortable with, blah, blah, blah. And they were saying to me, like, how do you want this kiss? Do you want, how passionate do you want it? And I was like, oh, I don't think it's gonna be all that passionate, It's just, I think it's just gonna be a kiss. It's sweet, it's innocent, it's new. And, I was like, I don't think he should be like, pulling on my wig or anything. And then the intimacy coordinator went to Tim and said, Jeff would like you to not touch his head. And then for like 3 days, Tim was like, don't worry, I'm not gonna do anything. And I was like, okay. And then finally he was like, I won't touch your head. And I was like, why do you keep saying that?
All right, and thank you for everybody that wrote questions. And Jeff is going to take these and respond to them on his Instagram video. So
This is news to me.
I just decided.
Okay,
and
great.
Tell him your Instagram so that he'll do it. He's traveling all over for the book. Give him a couple days. What's your Instagram so they can get a response?
Boom, boom, Hiller. And I want you to know, I called it that because that was my email in the 90s, because in college, whenever anybody would say anything sort of dirty, instead of Murray being like, hey, I would go, boom, boom. But I have since learned that a lot of parents call pooping with their tiny children, "Did you make a boom boom?" It's not that.
All right, so Boom Boom Hiller on Instagram. He'll be responding to the questions he didn't get to. And if you didn't get a book, you can pick one up after. And we do have a second seating, so he can't come out and do photos and stuff. But if you want to wait, if you want to come back, go get some drugs and marijuana, and put something in your mouth. It's not food. It's Friday, right? I think we get out about 9:30 or 9:45, and then he'll.
It starts at 9:30.
Oh, showbiz. 10:40, 10:30, or 10:45 or something. He'll be out in the bar. I'll come out in the bar too. So
But listen, I also get it. You're my people. You came to the early show because it was the early show. What's that?
So let's give this wonderful, talented human being a big round of applause.
And give it
Jeff
up for
Willer.
him! And for the Den. Thank you, everybody at the Den. You're so great here.
Thank you.